And welcome back to Hannity. So during my recent interview with President George W. Bush about his brand new book, Portraits of Courage, a Commander-in-Chief's tribute to America's warriors, well, I had the chance to meet some of the American heroes that were featured in the 43rd President's book, including Purple Heart recipient, retired U.S. Army Sergeant Daniel Casara. Watch this. Was it surprising the President of the United States does a portrait of you? Did you know it was coming?
I did not. It wasn't until, I want to say, maybe a Facebook post.
Yeah.
I don't even have Facebook, but someone did and sent it to me and blew me away.
What did that mean to you?
It was an honor, and just knowing that someone that has been a part of the leading the free world and just took the time. And that's what I think people need to understand. He took the time. He could have gone and you know, withered away or cycled or golfed.
He could have done what I wanted. I've been wanting him to bash Obama for 8 years. He wouldn't open. He wouldn't say a word.
He didn't do that. He did not do that because this is a man of honor and integrity. And to see the 90-something portraits of great men and women shows that integrity and honor that this man has in his heart for this country.
This really means a lot to you, and I know it does for all the other guys that I talk to.
Guess what I call him?
What?
The preacher.
Is that what you call him?
So at our events, we asked the vets to speak. He gave one of the most stirring speeches. I've heard a lot of speeches. This guy can speak. And
thank you, sir.
Remember that? That was
do.
awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Would you consider being a preacher?
No.
No? Okay.
I love God, but I don't believe that's my calling. So.
Let's talk, Danny, about what happened to you.
Sure. So 23 September 2005, I was in South Baghdad, Iraq, and me and 5 others were in an M113 armored personnel carrier, so it's a smaller tank, basically to get us from point A to point B, and we rode over an anti-tank mine, IED, EFP, whatever it was, but it had enough power to where it flipped the tank over, killed 2 of my guys. From that, I sustained bilateral fractures to my right tibia and fibula, shattered left tibia, both of my heel and ankle bones were shattered, and a dislocated right hip.
And how did you heal? How are you now?
Healed slowly, still healing to this day.
Are those the 2 guys that died with you?
These are. I make sure anytime I have a bad day, I just look down and think about their families, and it pushes me through.
I told the President, I went to Iraq. I also went into one of the hospitals there when I was there, or if I've gone to Bethesda, Walter Reed, it's embarrassing. You kind of walk out saying, these things are pretty superfluous that I think are wrong with my life. When you see the suffering that you
Tell him what you told about your legs. You came in the world with.
Oh, right, yeah. So the doctors asked me if I wanted to keep my legs. The chance of me being able to walk again was pretty low, according to them. It was early on, so they hadn't seen many cases like mine. So the question was, do you want to keep them? And I told them, I said, hey, I came in with 2. I'd like to leave with 2.
So it made it harder, your recovery?
It did. It did. I remember the first time that I got out of the wheelchair to try to walk again, and I was on parallel bars, and I went half the way, with my arms, because I was strong up top. It was just, I had no mobility down below, and I'm walking, with my arms, and the physical therapist yanked on the belt that was around me and pulled me back. He said, no, that's not how this works, and just trying to put one foot in front of the other was very difficult. Because
in other words, he didn't want you relying on your upper body strength.
That is correct. Right, because when you walk, you rely on your lower body.
And where are you now in terms of all your progress?
Well, golfing and cycling.
He's one of the few vets that's played golf in our tournament and rode the W100. So I'll answer the question.
Yeah.
He's doing damn good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a very accurate statement.
I want to know what was the speech that so inspired the President? Do you remember what you were talking about?
No, I mean, it was just about, just being there and just kind of how I felt and trying to be a voice for the men and women that were sitting there. I wanted the donors and those that were in attendance to just understand that we're not, to be looked down or saying, oh, poor warrior, poor veteran, more or less like, hey, this man or woman is at this place. What can we do to help them?
I do think a lot of people don't understand the trip to Germany, the trip to Bethesda, Walter Reed, and these guys are there for a year or longer.
Yeah, but
Correct.
most people, a lot of people, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people would look at Danny and say, I feel sorry for you.
That you would hate
You know.
that.
I really would.
I respect your courage. I think the single most special quality, character trait, is courage, and you embody it. All these other guys embody it, and Mr. President, I think that's what you capture in these guys.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
So.
I think the thing that we ought to focus on is helping people like Danny transition, because the future of our country is very bright when you think about the Dannys of the world taking leadership roles, and that's what we're all about. That's why this book was written. How can we help these men transition? Well, and this guy's awesome.
Honor to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
I think you're really supposed to be a preacher, though.
Nah, I appreciate that.
If the president says you got to do something, you got to say yes.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
No, he doesn't.